Hi, and welcome to the Inspired Woman Project. This is Mikki Kingrey, and I'm here today with Katya Sarmiento. Hi, Kat. Hey, I'm super excited to spend this time with you. This is going to be so fun.
No. I
So
got my
I've,
PCM badge right here too.
yeah, see, exactly. So I've known Kat for a while now. We've done lots of things together, business-wise and learning-wise. And just so everybody knows, Kat is the founder of Reach and Make Millions, and she is a business coach that specializes in technology, which I know is always something that can trip people up and kind of, yeah. So that'll be fun to be able to get your perspective on all of those good things. And to start with, I'd love to jump right in and hear about your work in the world. Like, what is this purposeful work that you get to do that lights you up?
Okay, so I've always loved technology. I've always, done research and looked up tools, tried new tools. I basically grew up with a computer and I've taught myself how to program. But the purposeful work started when I used my skill in technology to help the coaches that really want to make an impact, reach millions and make millions, and to be able to travel and have that freedom-based business, which is the number one reason I hear my clients start a business. And it's just really amazing to see somebody come to me and say, I can't do it. My website sucks. I don't know how to do a sales funnel or a webinar or all of this technology stuff. And then I teach them, I give them the tools and I show them how it can actually be simple, and they turn around and just start creating their website, creating sales pages, sales funnels, webinars, just really doing the work that they're passionate about. They get the idea and they make it happen with the business strategy that we brainstorm and also the tools that I teach them. They're very simple to learn for them. I always find the tools that are best for them, and it just feels really great. Um, it's just like a lot of us have a lot of ideas, and being able to see my clients get the idea and make it happen in a weekend or in a week or however long, and really make an impact and really change the world with their gift, it's amazing. So that's basically what I do.
That's very cool. And, like I mentioned, we've known each other for a while, and Kat is really this amazing resource and wise beyond her years. And,
Thank you.
definitely somebody that a lot of people go to for support, and support in like this really rich, deep, kind of meaningful way where people feel like overwhelmed um, and just like lost, and you
Yeah.
so easily and magically make it seem so simple to help people come right
Thank
back
you.
on on path again. So I love that, and I would love to hear more about what was your kind of story or your path for getting to this place, because one of the things that we hear from lots of people when we do these interviews is that you know it's never a straight line. It's never like, when I grow up, I'm going to be this, and then boom, 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 there I am. It always changes. It's always different. And it keeps on evolving, even for people. It's not like it used to be. And so I'm curious to hear what your path looks like, that's brought you into this place.
Yeah. Well, thinking of it, and I've been thinking about this lately. When I was a kid, I did say I wanted to be famous. I thought that meant being an actress, but maybe
Mm,
famous in a different way.
yeah.
And I was very addicted to, like regular kids. Girls would be playing with like the Barbies and the magazines, like reading the magazines and stuff like that. And I would be playing these tycoon games, like Lemonade Stand Tycoon, Mall Tycoon, building your own mall and business and stuff. I'm still addicted to those games, but I don't play them as often. So I've always been an entrepreneur for sure. But what happened was, when I was 13, and you know this story, but for your audience, for anybody watching,
Yes.
I was diagnosed with depression, major depression at 13 years old. I was put on antidepressants, Prozac specifically, and it really messed me up. And their solution was to up the dose and put me into more therapy, and that didn't
Mm,
really help. So I I was just kind of tired of feeling that way. It was just like, I was hopeless. I was very suicidal. I had my entire suicide plan, and I was just there were many days that I was very close, and there was just that like very small tiny voice that was like, just wait. just one more day. If it's really terrible, do it tomorrow. Every day, this voice was just like, just wait. There's something. There's something you need to wait for. I didn't know what it was, but the voice did. So I trusted. Probably the only thing I had faith in that moment. And I found a therapist that was in the American Drug List Practitioner, AADP, and he showed me mindfulness. He introduced me to probiotics and healthy eating. Really helped my gut. That guy really changed my life. And then I went into college, and I was miserable. So I listened to my instincts again, and I dropped out, and I quit my full-time job. And I found, I think it was either Kendall Summerhawk or who's like advertising Holistic MBA. They were launching their transformational coaching method program that both you and I took. And all I had to do, all I saw were these 3 videos. You know how they do like the 3 videos. I watched it. I implemented it for a week. I was like, wow, if this is what these 3 videos can do in a week, imagine 4 months. So I took the program knowing that it was, to become the top 1% of coaches and to be certified, but I did it for my personal growth because I couldn't afford that therapist anymore. And I was trying to start a business too. So I thought, let me work on myself so then I can actually really succeed. I was in for a surprise because in the program, you get coached and you also coach somebody else. So I learned a lot of coaching techniques. I learned a lot. I continued on to their mastery certification, Spotlight Core. I've taken every one of their courses, and really, I fell in love with coaching. Absolutely fell in love with coaching. And when I took their business program Core, I was like, what am I going to coach on? And my first idea was like relationships, because I was in a 4-year relationship and I thought I was a relationship expert. And everybody's like, just wait a few years, maybe get married and stuff, maybe be older. And I was like, well, what do you guys need help with? And everybody's like, help me with technology, help me with my website. Like, I have the business strategy, I don't know how to make it happen. Like, I have to hire a coach for the strategy, then I have to hire someone to show me how to do the technology, and then I have to hire someone to do it for me if I don't know how to do it myself, right? So I just started helping people in the program, the TCM program, for free. And one day somebody was like, okay, can I pay you to help me with this? And I was like, no, I'll do it for free. And they're like, no, this is taking me like months, like 7 months or something. She told me, like something crazy like that. And she's like, I know this will take you 5 seconds. Please let me pay you. And that's when it clicked that instead of like doing web design and then doing coaching separately, to put both of them together. Because there were a lot of coaches at that time that I was hearing is like, I don't have a website and I don't feel confident and I can't put myself out there and I really need help. So I started coaching people on that, and it just took off from there.
That's great. So. And I love the part too, how there's things that it's almost like the things that you love so much that you just think, well, everybody knows how to do that, or isn't that obvious, or why would anyone pay me for that? And those are the things that are so often our greatest gifts that we just don't see as our gifts, because it's just part of who we are. It's how we see the world, and that's totally what happened for you. I love that. Yeah. That's very cool. So when you were making this path, like there's this saying, I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that if you want to create the biggest personal growth or something like that in your life, to start a business, get married, or have a baby.
I think I've said that quote so many times. I love that quote.
Yeah, right? And so one of the things I love to hear about is, what was, one of the big things that you needed to shift, either a belief or an experience or something that was really pivotal for you in moving into this new way of seeing the world and really like having your own business and supporting other entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. The number one belief that came up, especially because I started when I was 18 and I'm 21 now, and the number one belief that has come up for me is I can't do it. Mm-hmm. I can't. There's limits. I'm too young, or I don't have enough resources, or there's not enough clients. It's a lot of lack and a lot of scarcity. And I started my business in that, and I definitely TCM helped, and hiring coaches, private coaches, have helped. And I really needed to shift that mindset of the not enough. Like I can't start a business, so let me. It was really, it's a really weird story that I had, but since I can't do it, I need to try really, really hard, work my butt off, like nine to five, not even. It's like
Yeah.
6 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, stay up as late as possible,
Yeah.
and then I might not even get results. So that was my story, and then through TCM and my current coach, Erica Reisberg, I've really been shifting that belief. And I realized that it's never going to disappear. I also believed in this land of perfection or enlightenment, that I would get enough coaching and be successful enough and shift enough beliefs, and I would be perfect and no more challenges and problems. So business is definitely a great personal growth journey. And I realized nothing, we learned this in TCM, nothing happens to us, it happens for us. And a book I've read, Loyalty to Your Soul, they talk about how we are souls having a human experience, and this experience of starting a business has been my curriculum, my spiritual curriculum, and I've learned a lot about myself and about others, and being able to be aware of these beliefs and make sure that I am sticking to my truth, which is I can do it. There's no such thing as perfection, because I need these challenges and these problems and what I perceive as limits to be able to keep going and keep growing my soul and myself. And so I'm really grateful that I followed it, that I listened to my instincts, and that I started a business in the first place.
That's so great. So what has been one of those moments that has tried your trust or your commitment? Has there been anything that's come up for you that's kind of shaken you and, tested your trust or your commitment?
Oh, wait, you cut out.
Oh, there you are.
Okay, I hear you now.
Curious, what is something that's come up for you along the way that has tested you, in either tested your trust or your commitment to creating this vision for yourself in your business?
It's definitely, for me, it's been money. And because I started very consistently at around $2,000 or $3,000, which was like amazing for me as an 18-year-old. I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm doing it. And then I wanted more. And I was like, I'm gonna make 10K per month and all that stuff. I got up to 8K, like a couple months here and there, but it was always very inconsistent. And I wasn't managing my money really well. I was more focused on paying off debt than saving, so I never saved. And there were months where I didn't make anything at all, because I would get into this cycle of, and I'm very aware of everything now. Before, I would have been like, my life sucks, I'm not making money, right?
Yeah.
So that was the trust issue there. But basically now from here, I see that I was in this cycle of marketing, work with clients, and then, oh shit, now I don't have clients.
Yeah.
So, it actually took, and the other part was that I wasn't taking care of myself. I was really working hard and trying to make more money, but I wasn't filling up my own cup. So I got really burnt out really quick. So it took me to completely stop everything I was doing and reevaluate everything of my business, and rebrand and realign myself. Actually, my word of the year is alignment for 2016. Last year was authenticity, so I did that well, but I was not aligned. So I really had to reevaluate everything, and also reevaluate my faith and my trust in myself, and in my business, because I was really depending on outside circumstances to determine if I'm worthy or deserving or enough. So I really had to align back to my truth and be like, okay, my business is awesome, but it doesn't mean anything about me. So I had to do a lot of inner work first before my business started working again. It
Absolutely.
completely stopped working, basically. That's what happened. It just crashed and burned. And I'm really grateful because if it kept working, I would have kept doing the same thing. And I would have kept being burnt out and overwhelmed and stressed and up and down income. And now I have a solid foundation.
That's
So,
great.
way
That's
better.
great. Good. So when you look at, kind of a tip or suggestion or some kind of teaching that you would be willing to share with the people that are listening that they could put into practice right away, what would that be for you?
Okay. I wrote these down on my notes because they're very important.
Okay.
The first one, self-care needs to be a non-negotiable. And what I started implementing is Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning. So, and he calls them savers. So every morning I practice silence through a 10-minute meditation. I use the Headspace app. Affirmations and visualizations I do also in my meditation, and he has a great way of writing out affirmations. Then exercise, I do a 7-minute workout. It's an app on the phone as well. And then reading, I'll listen to a podcast instead.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually was not into podcasts before, but now I've started listening to your podcast and The School of Self-Mastery by Adrian Dorson. And then scribing. So I'll journal what my to-dos are, what I'm grateful for. I am really practicing gratitude journals now. And then that starting my morning like that is just absolutely amazing. I feel like when I don't do it, I feel terrible. Especially because my second tip, well, first off, technology doesn't always work, and it has nothing to do with you. So some of my clients are like, it's not working, I must suck at this. I'm like, no, it's not you, because it's not working for me either. I have a tech issue every single day, probably because I work in tech more than most people.
Yeah, right.
So my second tip is, once you take care of yourself, you can come into your work from a balanced, aligned place. And technology is there to support you, not distract you. And I see a lot of my clients before working with me, they weren't clear on their goals. They weren't clear of what they were using technology for and how it's supposed to help them. And, they will be editing something for hours and then not really need it or make money from that activity. So it really needs to support your vision, support your business and your goals, and not really take up your time as busy work. Like one example is Facebook. I used to spend hours on Facebook just browsing when I was like, oh, okay, I didn't get what I was supposed to get done, which is be in my group and interact. Or the website, I personally, as a web designer, I could tweak my website for ages and make it look really good. But I'm like, okay, nope. I'm either delegating that or I'm spending like 5 minutes adding something very important, but no more. Because that's not the point. That's just a distraction. Yeah. That's me procrastinating on something for sure. So self-care and technology as support are my 2 tips.
That's awesome. And I love that last little bit too about the procrastination, because I think that comes up for people so much in how they're getting started and how they're using their time during the day. Like it shows up everywhere. And it's such a good place to hide behind, right? Like, I'm just going to go work on my website. And it doesn't have to be like that.
I actually literally did a scope about this today on Periscope. Like, are you busy being busy rather than actually being productive? So, that's exactly what I talked about.
Yes, that's great. So, one of the things I ask everybody is, what is your definition of success? Because it is different for everybody and it changes over time. And so I'd love to hear what yours is now.
Okay, so I actually have a quote from Tony Robbins up on my vision board, and I wrote it down for this. But for me personally, it used to be, perfection. That was my visual of success. It's like lots of money and no problems and 100% happiness. And I realized that's actually not realistic. And so I realized when I read this quote by Tony Robbins, he believes success is not a destination, but an ongoing process of constant and never-ending improvements. Our success in life comes in 2 forms: our ability to take our vision and make it real, whether that be in our professional or personal lives. But secondly, and equally as important, our ability to contribute to others in a way that creates a sense of true meaning and fulfillment. And I read that every single day after I recite my affirmations, and I really try to focus that in my business, whether it's taking my vision and making it real or helping somebody else make their vision real, and then also making sure that my work is fulfilling and I am contributing in any way that I can. And I can also say my word of the year, alignment, being really true to myself, to who I am, and sharing that with the world and being aware of where I'm out of alignment and where I'm not feeling successful. That's going to be pretty important for me in 2016 as well.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Mm-hmm. So if people are wanting to know more about you, how can they find out more?
Okay, so first place, reachandmakemillions.com. I have so much up there right now. I've been adding my Periscopes. I have my Periscope schedule there. I live stream every single day. I talk to people on there. I try not to be there for hours, but I tend to be. I can talk a lot. And then when there are people like commenting and asking questions, I get really into it. And I love meeting people on there as well. I have a resources page on there for like how to start Periscope, the systems and tools, technology tips. I have so much on my website. And I'm starting a free school for online entrepreneurs. I'm going to teach how to make a website, how to start email list building, how to make a sales funnel, webinar, everything technology and business strategy. And I'm really excited about that. So reachandmakemillions.com is the place to go. And then, of course, I'm everywhere, social media, whether it's Reach and Make Millions or Katya Sarmiento.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I love hanging out with you always in any way.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me.
Yes.
This was a lot of fun. So I love being able to share, and I love talking to you, of course.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you.